Hello everyone. In this video, I'm going to be graphing some functions using transformations. So let's just jump right into it. So in this first function, the cube root of negative x minus 1, what you want to do is to identify the starting function or the base function. So the function that you're going to be doing the transformation on. And so I'm going to call it g of x, and it is going to be the cube root function. And so in your text, you have a list of functions that you're going to be doing transformations on. And so you'll have like the cube root of x being one of them, the absolute value of x, the reciprocal function, the square function, and so on. And so I chose the cube root function as my starting function because I have a cube root in my problem. So that's why I chose it. It looks the most like this one. And then you're going to need to identify some key points to go with it. So also in your textbook, you'll have key points to go with each of these functions and the shapes of the graphs. So I'm going to choose just small, easy numbers to work with here. So if I have g of negative 1, I'm taking the cube root of negative 1, which is negative 1. G of 0 is a cube root of 0, which is 0. And g of 1 is a cube root of 1, which is 1. So with the cube root, you're trying to find so like say, for example, we're finding g of negative 1, right? So that we're trying to find the cube root of negative 1. So we're asking ourselves, what times what times what will get us negative 1? It has to be the same number. And that would be negative 1 times negative 1 times negative 1. Therefore, the cube root of negative 1 is negative 1. And so that's how you find the cube root. All right, so then what I'd like to do is over here is write the function that I'm actually going to be graphing. And so I'll need some points to go with that. And right in the middle, I'm going to write the arithmetic that is going to do my transformation. Okay, so if we look at our starting graph, it's a little longer. And so we have the point negative 1, 0, 0, and 1, 1. And with this function, the shape of the graph looks like this, right? That's how the dots connect. Now, if we look from our starting function to this function, the difference in our x, what changed, the x is being multiplied by negative 1. That means that this graph is going to do a reflection about the y-axis. So we're going to do a horizontal reflection. So we're going to take the graph and it's going to flip. Okay, so what we should see is that this point's left and this point's right. And then we also look at the y. So g of x is cube root of x. So g of x is just function notation for y. So y is a cube root of x. So this y is now here. And we took that y and we subtracted 1. So we did a vertical shift down 1 unit. So we're going to take the graph and move it down 1. So what we're going to do is look at again, we're going to look at our x's and look at the arithmetic that was being done to it. So we multiplied x by negative 1. So I'm going to write x times negative 1. And then to our y, we look at the arithmetic, the difference, what happened from here to the y, we subtract 1. So that was the arithmetic that was being done to y. So to all these x values, we're going to do this arithmetic, put that here, and then put our points here. So to all the x values, we're going to multiply them by negative 1. So negative 1 times negative 1 is 1. 0 times negative 1 is 0. 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. And then to all the y values, we're going to subtract 1. Negative 1 minus 1 is negative 2. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. And 1 minus 1 is 0. So let's put those 1, negative 2. So 1, negative 2, 0, -1, and -1, 0. And then we connect the dots like this. So this is it. This is your answer right here. This is a graph of this function using transformations. So we can see that, we had that horizontal reflection, the reflection about the y. So we took it and flipped. And so we have this. And then we took the graph as well, and we shifted it down 1 unit. So it went down 1. And we can clearly see that from like the 0, 0 point, the origin, it just went down 1, right? To 0, -1. And we have that here. 0, 0 is now 0, -1. And that's it. That is the graph of that function, this one right here. Okay. This is our starting function. This is just helping us get to here. Okay. So let's do another one. Let's look at this graph. Instead of the cube root, we're doing the cube function. And so again, first step when graphing any function using transformations is to identify the starting function or the base function, and that's going to be g of x equals x cubed. And the second step is to identify some key points to go with that. So g of -1 is -1 cubed, which is -1. G of 0 is 0 cubed, which is 0. And g of 1 is 1 cubed, which is 1, right? 1 times 1 times 1 is 1. So then we're just going to go ahead and rewrite our function. And this is the one we're actually going to need to graph. So I'm going to write some points for this one as well. And then I'm going to put the arithmetic here that's going to do my transformation for me. So if I just place these points here for my starting function, and of course these dots connect that way. So what I'm going to do, if I look at the x, from here to here, my x's were multiplied by -1. So again, that is a horizontal reflection. So it goes like that. So this is going to go here, and this is going to go here. So it's going to point up here and down this way. And we are also doing, if we look at our y, so this y to this y, we're shifting it up 2 units. We're going to take it and go up 2. Okay, so let's write that arithmetic down. So again, from this x to this x, we're multiplying by -1. And g of x is x cubed. That's just function notation of y, saying y is x cubed. So what's different from here to here, we took the y and we added 2. So that is like I said, a vertical shift up 2. So I'm going to do this arithmetic to these values. So I get -1 times -1 is 1, 0 times -1 is 0, and 1 times -1 is -1. And then to here, to the y's, I'm going to add 2. So -1 plus 2 is 1, 0 plus 2 is 2, and 1 plus 2 is 3. And then I will place these points on my little makeshift graphing paper. So I have 1, 1, 0, 2, and -1, 3. And then I'll connect the dots. So again, the cube graph is shaped this way. So as you can see, so we did the reflection about the y, the horizontal reflection, and then we took the graph and shifted it up 2 units. So, and you can clearly see that from the 0, 0 point, the origin, it went 1 and then 1 more. So, right, so here it is now. So it was at 0, 0, and now it's at 0, 2, and we can see that from here. 0, 0, it's now at 0, 2. So of course, all the points on this graph got moved. We just followed 3 of them. And that's it. That is how you graph any function doing any transformations. It doesn't matter what transformations, how many, which function. It does not matter at all. You just find the starting function, some key points, find your transformation and the arithmetic done so that can help you do the transformation.